Hello YouTube. I want to explain this video a little bit. I was going down the interstate in Beaumont, Texas, eastbound, and they have a hell of a bump. Well, after that last rain, it got worse. And I hit it very slow like normally, and all of a sudden I heard brrrr. I knew what had happened. My motor mount bracket broke. I pulled over on the side of the interstate, faster than a NASCAR team. I had my jack out, a block of wood, and a chain with 2 hooks. And I strapped that motor mount back up and was back on the road in about 10 minutes. This is a picture of the part. So I had to order the part. And as you can see in this picture, next to that power steering reservoir, there's the top hook of that chain. That's all I could get on the frame. And here we're going to start taking that chain off so I can change out the part. And of course I got my truck jacked up, so I had to put some boards underneath there and put the hydraulic jack under there. And as you can see here, I'm fixing to lift the whole engine up on this driver's side, because I got it held with that chain and I got to get some clearance. And so I probably lifted that engine a good 3 inches to where I could unbolt the old bracket to install the new one. And I'm trying to keep up with the video. I'm not good at this talking part. That part is held on with 5 15/16 bolts. 2 go in the cross member, 3 go through the frame. It's a very poor design by PETERBILt and Caterpillar, in my opinion. I've had these break before. And my short anvil impact was acting up, so I had to use the long one, which was even more of a pain in the cods because of the way it's set up in there. And I mean, them bolts was tight. German version Guttentights. But I got them loose. Got them changed out. As you can see when we get in here with this impact. The 2 on the cross member actually wasn't bad. It was the 3 about 10-inch bolts that go through your frame. But you got to make sure that you got that motor up, or you'll tear up everything. I'm gonna have a picture at the end showing that piece of chain I used to temporarily get this thing home. It was a job. And you think when you're videoing this stuff to move, I'd remember to move the camera around, get better angles and all that. But you get wrapped up in the job and you're trying to get her done. So, you know, it is what it is. You got what you got. And I'm fixing to let the video do the talking. Oh, on a side note.
The truck that I'm rolling, black, the smoke that I'm blowing, black.
And this reminds me of a little story about the chain in the engine trick. My old buddy Guy Terrio, we was on a dump truck job, and all of a sudden he said, "Man, I can't shift my truck." So I looked underneath there. He had a L10 Cummins. I said, "Guy, your motor mounts are broke. Let's ease that thing to my shop and we'll fix it." So on the way to the shop, he called the local international dealer. They gave him a price on them motor mounts. He got over there, he goes, "Man, them things are expensive." I said, "Yeah." He said, "I don't know. Let's see if we can just fix these." So I got underneath that truck and there wasn't no fixing it. So I took a 40-ton jack and I jacked up the back of his engine. I hooked the chain in the frame, went around the frame, under the engine, back over the other frame, came back, and then cut the chain off and put a snap binder underneath there and held it tight. And then I cut the excess chain off with a torch. And of course I put some zip ties on the snap binder and some number 9 wire where it couldn't come loose. He said, that's good. So he drove that truck forever with that chain holding that engine up in it. Then one day we was on another job, and our local DOT officer was working. So one day we were on a job, and our local DOT officer was working. He pulled a guy over. He opened the hood and looked underneath there and said, "Guy, what's that chain in there for?" He said, "That's holding up my motor. Chuck did it." He said, "Where's Chuck at?" He said, "He's coming in the next truck." He said, "Get out of here." Man, when I got up there, Ivy pulled me over. He said, "I ain't gonna inspect your truck. I wanna know where in the hell you got that idea to chain that engine up in that dump truck." I said, "Well, we used to do that on the farm." Too much horsepower? My spawny problem. Needless to say, our local DOT man, Ivy, he didn't find much humor in that engine being chained up in that dump truck. He told us we was gonna have to fix it. The guy said, "I'm just gonna listen close to the radio, and whenever you're out here, I'm turning around and going home. But I ain't changing those motor mounts in that dump truck." So that truck, he sold it. It's sitting in a guy's field now. It still has that chain and snap binder holding that engine in, and will probably be there till the day it goes to the junkyard. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed this little video. I wish I could have got some better camera angles, but the way that part is put in the truck, it's hard to do. But you get the gist of the idea. Thank you.
Bus all black, truck all black, off that jack, but I won't black out. Bump that man in black, all blacked out in a Cadillac. Pull that throttle back, said I don't black out from a bottle of Jack. So sip that, pass it back, hit a bump in the sub when the bass goes slack. Slicker than the slobber on my bulldog's jaw.